Over 100 games are now available on Apple Arcade, so to celebrate, I've put together a special video for you guys. I'm going to give my thoughts on the service thus far, and I've invited 4 developers to share their thoughts on Apple Arcade too. Apple Arcade definitely lives up to its name, being a wonderful place to find games with a more arcade tone. The service covers a range of genres, from action and adventure to RPG, multiplayer and puzzlers, and while it's definitely missing or limited with a few key genres, okay, I think you get the idea of what I'm going for. The ones we have so far offer great stories and gameplay that can educate and change your way of thinking. For example, Assemble with Care by Ostwoy Games taught me about the importance of connecting, listening, and helping others around you. Then there is Mosaic by Krillbite, which showed me the negative effects of social media in our modern age, how isolating yourself from the world can have big negative effects on your mental health. The surprising game Grindstone by Capybara Games. This might sound ridiculous, but for me, the challenging and brutal puzzle gameplay was a firm reminder that persistence can be the key to success in life, even if you fail and fall back from time to time. And let us not forget Lifelike by Cunaby Brother. Their game is inspired by natural phenomena, so it uses calming gameplay techniques such as meditation to provide a calming, hypnotic, and soothing feeling for those who are playing. Apple and the developers are bringing us premium games that can change our way of thinking in real life. Apple is also giving game designers creative freedom without the risk that may come along with development. Jeremy Spillman from Bling Flug Studios, the people behind Stellar Commanders, recently talked about this topic on YouTube, saying,
"For the first time as a developer, you don't really need to worry about user acquisition costs or running expenses. You could just create the game that you want, the game that will make the players happy, and that is a creative freedom that is extremely liberating."
My favorite feature of Apple Arcade is having the ability to play these games across a range of Apple devices, all which have different resolutions, inputs, and radically different hardware capabilities. It is a technology feat that should not go unnoticed. I love being able to play these games on my television, and if I want to go portable, I can just jump onto my iPhone. Because of iCloud backup, my progress is usually saved across all devices, and the games are playable offline, so I can basically play whenever and wherever I want. And it's a shame, many overlook or judge Apple Arcade because the catalogue of games in their eyes don't have advanced graphical fidelity of what you might see on PC or consoles. In my eyes, it's very clear that the developers have spent so much time perfecting every little aspect of their games. Just look at Manifold Garden. William Cher first started working on his game back in November 2012. That's 7 years of development. And during this time, the world has evolved and evolved to what you finally see today. An unprecedented place where geometry repeats infinitely in every direction, and falling down leads you back to where you started.
First year and a half, I was very motivated. I'd wake up and just be excited to work on the game. The second or third year, that start to fade, and that's perfectly normal. I think of this quote often, and I'm paraphrasing a bit. If you only write when you're motivated, you might be a pretty good poet, but you'll never be a novelist. That same sentiment applies to long game projects.
And might I mention Revolution Software's upcoming Beyond a Still Sky, which is a sequel to the 1994 classic Beneath a Still Sky. According to Charles CECIL, who held a conference at Adventure X 2019, Beyond a Still Sky is their most ambitious project yet,
And it's such a pleasure to be able to bring back some of the principles that actually Revolution was founded on and bring them back into a modern domain using the power of the Unreal Engine. But at its heart, absolutely, unashamedly, an adventure game where you talk to people, you find out what the story is, you drive the story through puzzles, and that the puzzles and the characters in the world are logical in the way that they behave. Very much our most ambitious adventure.
And I think I should mention the removal of games having advertisements or in-app purchases. Because today, more than ever, games are plagued with free-to-play business models, or season passes, or paying to unlock chests, paying to unlock skins and power-ups, and it goes on and on. I'm sick of it, and I think Apple are too. Apple Arcade hasn't gotten rid of this recent trend, and I don't think it ever will. But what I do believe is that it will inspire more developers to create games that are not built on gacha game mechanics. And even for gamers to not be persuaded into supporting this trend either. And that's my thoughts on the service thus far, but I also wanted to hear directly from the developers. So I've contacted 4 and asked them this one question. What does it mean to you to be a part of Apple Arcade? First, Sunnyside Games, who made Tawaga Among Shadows. For us, it's simple. It means that we can finally make the games we always wanted to make, without ads or in-app purchases, a dream coming true, to be honest. Apple are really focusing on creating great games. It's quite fantastic to be a part of this. Up next we have Marble It Up Collective, who made Marble It Up Mayhem. It means to me the chance to make games better for everyone, making games that are really fun and don't try to manipulate you into monetizing. Apple is really clear that the #1 metric for Apple Arcade games is people playing them and having fun. I don't want to see a world where everything is free to play adware, and working with Apple lets me make a real difference. Now here is a short video message from We Are Play, the people behind Exploitants.
Hello, I'm Bilal Mirza. I'm the senior dev in WRP Studios, and I've been working as a lead developer on Exploitants. Studios is based in Pakistan, and we've been working on Exploitants since about 4 years. And we are really excited to be a part of Apple Arcade. It's actually a pretty big deal for us, for actually all the indie studios who made it to Apple Arcade. We never expected such a huge number of downloads in the first week. We're really thankful to Apple Arcade.
And here is Effecto Studios, who made Decoherence. It was very exciting to have this opportunity with Apple to create a game for a super wide audience without having to compromise our game with any of those microtransaction mechanics. It was challenging too because we had to support gamepad, touch, and mouse and keyboard controls, but it was totally worth the effort. What do you think of Apple Arcade so far? Do you have any suggestions to improve the service? Do you agree with the original statement by Apple that it would feature groundbreaking games? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to be notified about upcoming Apple Arcade videos. Anyway, thanks for watching.